Today we're talking about a video that didn't just go viral. It actually, literally, broke the internet. Okay, look at this number. 2,147,000,000 and change. Now, that's not just some random string of digits. For years, that was the absolute max, the ceiling for how many views a single video could get on YouTube. It was a hard limit in their code. The programmers, they probably figured there's no way a single video will ever get watched more than that. Well, they were very wrong. Because in December of 2014, YouTube's engineers were in a full-blown panic. They had to scramble and upgrade their entire system, all because one song, just one music video, did what they thought was impossible. So let's get into it. How did a K-pop music video completely take over the world and, yes, literally break YouTube's counter? We're going to break it all down and figure out what was really going on behind that ridiculous and brilliant horse dance. All right, first things first. Before it was a global meme, before all the flash mobs and the talk show appearances, Gangnam Style was basically an inside joke, and it was aimed right at the elite of South Korea. So to really get the joke, you have to know what Gangnam is. It's this super affluent district in Seoul. I mean, think Beverly Hills, but in South Korea. It's the epicenter of luxury, wealth, all that stuff. And to have Gangnam Style is all about that lifestyle, looking trendy, sophisticated, and very, very high class. But here's the thing, and this comes straight from Psy himself. The song is actually making fun of people who try to have Gangnam Style. He said the real rich people from Gangnam, they don't go around bragging about it. It's the posers, the people trying so hard to be something they're not, that are the real target here. So the song wasn't a celebration at all. It was pure satire. And that's why the video is so brilliant. The whole thing is a visual punchline. The lyrics are all about being high class, but what do you see? You see Psy in a horse stable, on a playground instead of a fancy beach, on a tour bus full of seniors. It's all about that contrast. He's totally mocking the very lifestyle the song seems to be about. Okay, so we get the satire, but how was the video itself built? Because it wasn't just funny, it was engineered. It was built to be shared. This was no accident. Psy and his team basically had a formula. It all boiled down to a simple philosophy. Dress classy, dance cheesy. Add in some absurd comedy and cameos from well-known Korean personalities, and you've got the recipe for a viral hit. And that dance, oh man, that dance. It wasn't just some random thing they came up with. Psy apparently stayed up for 30 straight nights trying to perfect it. He tested all sorts of cheesy animal moves. Can you imagine a panda dance or a kangaroo dance? But he finally landed on the horse trot. And why did it work so well? Because it hit the sweet spot. It was simple enough for absolutely anyone to copy, but it was also completely and comically absurd. So you've got this satirical K-pop song with a goofy dance. How on earth did that break out of South Korea and basically set the entire world on fire? Well, it happened fast. It was an absolute digital wildfire. It all started when T-Pain tweeted it. Then Gawker wrote about it. Nelly Furtado covered it in concert. And then, the big one, Katy Perry shared it with her 25 million followers. After that, Britney Spears was learning the dance on Ellen. It was those massive celebrity endorsements that poured gasoline on the fire and turned it into a full-blown global phenomenon. And to really get a sense of the scale here, just look at this. Remember Call Me Maybe? That was the other huge hit that year. It was getting about 1.5 million views a day, which is massive. But Gangnam Style, it was pulling in over 9 million views a day. This wasn't just a hit song. This was something else entirely. It was a true global event. And pretty soon, this thing escaped the internet. It jumped from our screens into the real world, showing up in the most unbelievable places. I mean, how wild is this? The Secretary General of the United Nations at the time, Ban Ki-moon, hailed it as a force for world peace. The actual head of the UN, he saw it as this powerful tool for connecting cultures. That's just insane. And it wasn't just leaders talking about it. People were out in the streets. We're talking massive flash mobs, 20,000 people in Paris, 20,000 in Milan. All over the globe, thousands of people were gathering just to do the horse dance together. It became this incredible participatory experience. And just look at this list of who was talking about it. You've got President Obama, the British Prime Minister, NASA, the International Criminal Court, even the political activist Ai Weiwei used it in a protest video. From world leaders to astronauts to dissidents, Gangnam Style somehow became this shared cultural touchstone for absolutely everyone. The economic impact was also just bonkers. Okay, sure, size label YG Entertainment saw its stock jump by 50%. That makes sense. But get this, his father's company, a semiconductor company that has absolutely nothing to do with music, saw its stock price explode by over 560% just because of the family connection. That's how big the frenzy got. So, okay, the flash mobs eventually stopped and the craze died down. But what did it leave behind? Well, as it turns out, it left behind a completely changed world. Yeah, the legacy is just huge. Billboard actually had to change how they calculate their charts to include YouTube views, all because of this one song. It completely kicked the door down for other K-pop acts to go global. It cemented YouTube's power as a launchpad for international careers. And, yep, they even put up a giant statue of the horse dance hands right in the middle of Gangnam. And on December 21st, 2012, it did something that honestly seemed impossible at the time. It became the very first video on YouTube to hit 1 billion views. Just think about that for a second. The first ever, and it didn't stop there. It was the first to 1 billion, and then it was the first to 2 billion, which, as we said, is the moment it literally broke YouTube's counter. It was a true digital pioneer, shattering records left and right. So when you boil it all down, Gangnam Style was so much more than just a viral video. It was this perfect storm, right? It was a satirical masterpiece, a global unifier, a cultural reset, and a business case study all rolled into one. It proved that you don't need to speak the same language to share a laugh and a dance. Which really makes you wonder, what's the Gangnam Style of today? What's that one thing that's managed to cut through everything and just bring the whole world together, even for a moment? And what does that say about where we are right now? Let us know what you think in the comments below.